Hello from Universal. So I was here just a few days ago, and immediately after I uploaded my video, something pretty incredible happened over at Islands of Adventure. They opened up Camp Jurassic, one of my favorite places in really any theme park, and I'm here to go check it out. I'm also here today to enjoy some dinner, hopefully over in Islands of Adventure. I'm here in the very last couple hours of the parks are open. So Universal closes in about an hour, actually, and Islands of Adventure closes in about 2 hours. Alright, so I made it through security way back there. There's the mini golf course. I think I'm gonna head over to Islands of Adventure, presumably exclusively because I don't think I'm gonna make it to Universal before they close. And today's gonna be, for me, all about Camp Jurassic and probably some dinner. I may hop on a ride too, but given that the parks close in just a couple hours and I have to make it all the way to Camp Jurassic and grab some dinner, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to ride a ride, but I might. Alright, so I made it to the entrance of Islands of Adventure, and maybe it's still gonna be going in just a second, but as I was walking up to Islands, I could see the Velocicoaster testing way off in the distance and Hulk going by right next to it. It was a pretty cool sight to see, and I hope I see a lot more of that in the future. So if you followed my channel for a little bit, then you know that I like to do scavenger hunts and other challenge videos. A while ago, I went to Universal and here at Islands, and I took a bunch of random pictures, and then I gave them to Brennan as a scavenger hunt, and she did a really good job on it. So then I came back and I did it again, but I took a bunch of a little bit harder scavenger hunt pictures for her to find, and we have yet to come back and do that. So we're gonna have to do that at some point in the hopefully very near future. See, there it is, the Velocicoaster right across the water. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. That looks so fun. Now what I'm very tempted to do is hop on this right over here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of people on it, so maybe I could jump on it and see if I could just potentially get to see the Velocicoaster going by at the same time from a really cool aerial perspective. That would be cool. So what I was talking about back over there, the pictures that I took, why I just mentioned that, I think about it every single time that I walk into Port of Entry, just because I took some pretty good pictures there in particular, because there's a lot to kind of navigate through in Port of Entry back over there. But honestly, it's been so long since I did that, I don't really remember where all the pictures are around the theme park. So it'll be fun for me whenever we get around to doing that. Okay, I think I'm gonna head in this direction through Marvel and head over towards Camp Jurassic from that direction. Okay, so what I may do is head over to Camp Jurassic and maybe grab some dinner at Thunder Falls Terrace, and then head back through Seuss Landing, and then if I have time before the park closes, then I'll hop on the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley train ride to see if I can see the Velocicoaster from way up high. Okay, so I think I decided what I'm gonna be getting from Thunder Falls Terrace, and it's gonna be this rice bowl right here, which is a choice of mojo chicken or jackfruit with black beans, cilantro rice, cotija cheese served with fresh plantains and salsa. That sounds great. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back to Camp Jurassic just to kind of walk around and check that out for the first time in a while, and then have dinner at Thunder Falls Terrace. So I went ahead and I put in my mobile order, but first I'm gonna head back over here to see if I can see some more Velocicoaster testing. Okay, so if Camp Jurassic is opening back up, there goes the Velocicoaster, then that could mean other play areas like the Olive are going to be opening back up at some point, potentially if I ran the zoo over in Seuss Landing, but that's a little bit more of a different situation. That's a little bit problematic, I guess, currently. Okay, and there it is. This has been testing continuously. About every 30 seconds, at least, it has been bizarre just how many trains have been coming by since I've just been walking over here. This is gonna be so cool. I know I'm by no means original, just filming the Velocicoaster, testing and talking about how excited I am for it. But June 10th, it's gonna get here incredibly fast, and it's gonna be so cool. That part I'm most excited about, I think, right there. Okay, you see it right there coming across the water doing its roll. I'm gonna try to continuously talk until it launches again, so you can see how intervaled it is in terms of just how rapidly they are testing this coaster, which means hopefully the wait time is going to be pretty awesome if they're just testing it that fast and they're sending train cars that rapidly. It's funny because I came to Islands of Adventure just hoping to see this testing just once, and then now it's just pretty much doing this. See, there it goes right now. It took that quickly, I guess, just to send another train. But it's fun how that always works, right? You wait and you wait and you wait, and then you maybe get that payoff, or you maybe don't, and then suddenly it just starts happening consistently. Another train should be about to launch. There it goes. Wow. Okay, so I'm checking out the map right here just to make sure that Camp Jurassic is indeed open, and it does look like it. In this prehistoric playground, kids can climb nets, play on a variety of themed slides, and join in a water cannon fight in the containment paddock. And by kids, it means me too, right? I'm not sure if all of the elements and offerings that were present before the shutdown are going to be available today in terms of all the nets and the slides, but I guess I'll find out. I definitely want to run around the caves, and I want to explore. That's what I love the most about Camp Jurassic. It's just the exploration and the adventure of it. I have tried to check the hours of both Thunder Falls Terrace and Camp Jurassic, and they don't seem like they would close early. It's about 6 o'clock right now, so I'm hoping and presuming that they would stay open throughout the duration of the park being open for another hour. Okay, so I'm coming around the corner to both Camp Jurassic and Thunder Falls Terrace, but I'm passing by Raid of Kong here, and today's a very rainy, overcast day, which days like today really make that background look really, really realistic. It already does, but days like today just really make it stand out a little bit more. Haven't ridden this in a little while too, so we're gonna have to come back and ride this at some point too. Okay, so this is Thunder Falls right here, which I think I'm gonna come back for in just a little bit. Straight ahead of me is the new photo opportunity for the T-Rex. I think the walls came down literally right after I uploaded my video, but there she is. And then right kind of around the corner is Camp Jurassic. Okay, so let's see if I can actually explore around Camp Jurassic. I'm pretty sure that I can. I really hope that I can. All right, I am inside Camp Jurassic. They're hanging out on the bridge right over there, just organizing everybody. If they want to go to the ride, then they head over to the ride. If they want to go to the playground, and they continue on to the playground with a little hand sanitizer. It looks just very quiet over here, so I am ready to explore. All right, so it seems like certain areas in Camp Jurassic are still not accessible. Looks like you cannot get up to the upper area up there, at least from where I am right now, so it still could be potentially accessible. I don't really see anybody up there, but I guess I'm gonna find out. I can continue along in this direction. I am just so happy to be back inside Camp Jurassic. There's Stranded on Flyers, the line for it way over there, and then the Velocicoaster, which still is consistently testing every 30 seconds or so. It's incredible. That is where I just was, right there on that bridge, wishing to be inside Camp Jurassic just a few days ago. And here I am, getting to walk around and explore in one of my favorite places in all of Universal and any theme park, honestly. Let's just see what I can do and where I'm able to walk around and explore. It's so beautiful and quaint in here. Can you tell that I'm excited? Okay, so this area looks like it's currently inaccessible, but I definitely want to see if I can go up into the netting or not, and it does not look like it. It looks like they have roped off all accessible entry points for the upper area of the playground, which is definitely, without a doubt, a bummer. But I do understand that this was my favorite part of, well, not really, I do like the caves too, so I'm gonna go see if the caves are open, but this was one of my favorite parts of Camp Jurassic. All right, so I have seen people coming down the slides, so it looks like the slides are definitely open now. I just need to figure out how to get up there. I know there's a cave around the corner, I believe over here. Let's see, it's like exploring this place all over again for the very first time. It's just been so long since I've been able to walk around. Right over here there are some fun footprints that if you step into them, they make some pretty intense dinosaur sounds. That's pretty intense. Okay, so the stairs are roped off over here, but I definitely do see people coming down the slides. So maybe it's just a very intentional direction that they're trying to give crowds inside Camp Jurassic for the time being. I'm inside one of the caves, and I think that this will navigate me to a somewhat aerial portion of Camp Jurassic. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. I have missed Camp Jurassic so much. Okay, so I can't go across this bridge. They put up a net here. This is where they normally have a geyser exploding in the vicinity, but if I continue along in this direction, I'm pretty positive that I'll be able to navigate my way to, I think, the second level of Camp Jurassic, which I think is going to be over here. Okay, so now this led me back over by the suspension bridge, and there's the geyser. It's currently spraying all over me. Okay, so heading back in the opposite direction. Look how incredible this cavern is. This is so beautiful. All right, I'm heading outside. Even before I wasn't able to come for over a year, every single time that I've come to Camp Jurassic, I consistently talk about how fun it is, how easy it is to get lost in the best possible way. And it's not going to be open at night, unfortunately, because the park closes in about 45 minutes. But the lighting package in Camp Jurassic is phenomenal. It pretty much looks like how it looks inside the caves, but outside and all around the entire land. I can't take this place for granted, honestly, any more than I probably have by coming as few times as I should have. Because you never know when they're just going to shut places like this down and replace it with some big, exciting e-ticket attraction. But for me, this is what's just the most magical parts of theme parks, are these immersive lands. And I know that not a lot of people come here, and it's a big, big space for not a lot of people to really come to and enjoy. But I hope it's around for a long time. Honestly, it's really cool. So evidently this is the highest accessible area currently open in Camp Jurassic, which again, it makes sense, but I really, really want those ropes portions of Camp Jurassic to open back up because they are just so much fun. And what my favorite part about this has been today is that I've pretty much been by myself. I've only seen a few other families walking around and exploring, and I know that the park is going to be closing in half an hour, which probably contributes to that, but I want this to just be so much more popular than it is, so it sticks around. Theme parks do keep an accurate account of the popularity of the various attractions that they have, whether it's a ride or a show or even a place like this, to see if it's more viable to replace it with something new and exciting. And I know that there's a lot of rumblings and rumors about Jurassic Park being turned into Jurassic World, and that would be cool, but if they could just somehow reutilize this area and just keep it as the incredible immersive land that it is, I like that. Okay, so I guess I lied. It looks like I can go a little bit higher up in Camp Jurassic, probably up to the slides up here. This seems very new. It smells like very new wood, so I guess they just recently refurbished this. Yeah, I'm going all the way up to these slides up here. This entrance to the net play area up here is, of course, inaccessible as well. You can even see some plants starting to grow through it as nature starts to take back over. This is kind of near where I first started my adventure today, which was right down there. And this is neat. You get a really nice view of a good amount of Camp Jurassic from up here. There's Hogwarts way over there. There are the waterfalls. This is sort of where I walked along the bridge there, then I crossed right over here, and now I think I'm going to go ahead and slide down a slide. I think to go and end my little experience in Camp Jurassic today, and then head over to Thunder Falls Terrace as well. Hey, there goes Velocicoaster. Alright, so this is the slide, and I'm going to be sliding down. I'm going to go and flip the camera around on myself. Whoa! Getting a little bit too big for this. And here I go. Ah! And of course I'm stuck. Come on. Come on. Just a little bit more. Just gotta get around the corner here. Oh, and now it's dark. Oh, this one's a little bit... Oh. And it looks like I've finally gotten to the bottom of the slide. Yikes. Wow, okay, I started all the way up there. I went around this little corkscrew all the way down here, and then twisted around again, and then popped out right there. And there's also another one kind of right next to it, or underneath it, right up there. That was fun. I think reopening Camp Jurassic has been a test just to see how successfully they can reopen a playground area inside the parks, probably because it's one of the more expansive of the playground areas, but other areas like Me Ship the Olive, If I Ran the Zoo, Kid Zone, where else? All of the different play areas just around both parks could potentially reopen pending the success of how this one goes, and I think it went really well because I absolutely want to come back as much as possible. There's just so much opportunity here to have just such a good time. Okay, but I have a little bit more time before the parks actually do close, so I'm gonna go and head out of Camp Jurassic for the afternoon. I wandered around for the better part of an entire hour, pretty much, and I had a great time, but I'm gonna end my day with a slide down this slide right here. And here I go. Woo! Oh, there are my thighs. You're welcome. And this is the T-Rex slide right here. Okay, heading out of Camp Jurassic for the last time, right now, just for today, because I'm gonna be back many, many times. Okay, so now it's time to head over to Thunder Falls Terrace, which is conveniently right over there, and see if they will still accept my mobile order that I made about an hour ago. All right, so I got my selfie with the new Tyrannosaurus Rex photo opportunity. This is a little bit menacing, right? But I walked over to Thunder Falls Terrace just to see if they were open, and they are not. Which is unfortunate because I checked the wait time, not the wait time, the hours on the app, and it didn't say that it was going to be closing earlier than the park was going to be closing. It just says, sorry, we missed you, but check out the 3 broomsticks right there on the door, which is a bummer. I'm a hungry guy. Okay, so I did not get to eat at Thunder Falls Terrace, which is okay because I could easily come back and do that at some point in the future. I definitely wanted to prioritize Camp Jurassic. Just seeing that it was open and just being able to walk around was just, I worked earlier today and I've been looking forward to this all day, so I'm so happy that I got to do it. But I have about 15 more minutes until the park does close, so I would like to do something. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna continue walking around Universal. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do anything before the park does close, because I would like to do Pie in the Sky Seuss Trolley train ride, but it's probably gonna be closed by the time that I get there. Okay, I'm right across from Jurassic Park River Adventure. If I'm not mistaken, a coaster should be coming by here pretty much any second. There it is. That is so cool. It's just testing so ridiculously consistently, and I love it. Let's see, I think it's gonna come, which direction? This way? This way. Whoa! Yeah, so the park closes in about 5 minutes, so I don't think that I'm gonna be able to make it all the way over to Seuss Landing to ride that, which is okay, because I've actually been wanting to do a rides day with Brennan at some point in the hopefully pretty near future. We have some fun plans to come back and have a good time. What I would like to do, which could be potentially achievable, is maybe see if the Velocicoaster is testing from behind the 3 broomsticks. That intimate experience has unfortunately evaded me for kind of a while. So if I can somehow get behind the 3 broomsticks and just see it testing from back there, I will be happy. So I'm behind the 3 broomsticks. This is the Hog's Head right here, and it seems like this outdoor portion is currently closed, the outdoor seating. But there it is. There goes the Velocicoaster, so I can't really get up and see it up close and personal like I wanted, but this is close enough. Right, there it goes again. Cool. Alright, so now I'm heading out of Hogsmeade's Ford at the front of the park because the park is now officially closed, even though there are a good amount of people here still, but the park is closed. The parks have been pretty interesting recently, where they've either been closing for capacity on certain days, or they've been closing really relatively, comparatively early, like today, like Universal closing at 6 and then Islands closing at 7 o'clock, but it's still light outside. It's interesting. And now begins the long walk back to the front of the park, back to the parking garage to go ahead and head back home. Today was a very spontaneous trip for me here, and I'm very, very glad that I made it. Real quick before I leave though, I'm gonna head behind Mythos just to see the Velocicoaster testing from back there, because I have not seen it test, at least during the daytime, from behind Mythos. Alright, I'm behind Mythos and it should be launching here in a second. There it is. Okay, I've now seen the Velocicoaster testing from pretty much every angle of Islands of Adventure. Finally, it took long enough, right? Okay, so I came down by the water to get a little bit closer perspective of the Velocicoaster. I think what my favorite aspect of this, and something that I mentioned a little while ago, is all of the foliage. It looks like they did an incredible job of making it look tropical and really just kind of fit into the Jurassic Park aesthetic, and it does seem like you're going to be able to walk along the water right over here, so that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, you can see 2 trains going at once. They are really just testing this today, back to back. It is cool. Okay, so now I actually am heading out of the park because it's been closed for a little while now. It's just so cool to get to see that from every single perspective, and the hype for it could not be any more intense. I'm still just so in awe that they built a roller coaster just right there, just kind of nestled next to the Discovery Center, but they did it, and it looks awesome. And it's gonna open up in like a month. Hopefully Brendan and I can come back and actually ride some rides around Universal and Islands of Adventure. I promise it's something that I do sincerely love to do and like doing. It's not all about just walking around and pointing out what's new and eating food. It's about riding the rides and just having a good time at the theme parks. And we're gonna be doing that very soon as our schedules start to actually cooperate with each other. Over on the other side of Green Eggs and Ham, this is the If I Ran the Zoo area, which probably won't open back up, but it might. Honestly, this wasn't fun little area. It was a bit of a maze to navigate, but it was still super cool to walk around and kind of just play and explore this area, but it's currently closed. Okay, so I stopped by the U-Rest area one last time because the sun is setting and that just looks absolutely beautiful. Just the castle silhouetted in the background as the sun goes down with the Velocicoaster testing right in front of it. That's pretty cool. Okay, time to go ahead and head on out of the park. I feel good about it. I think this is the latest I've ever left a Universal Park after closing. Island's closed about an hour ago. There's still a pretty consistent crowd leaving the parks, but I don't think I've ever stayed this late, and I kind of like it. It's fun. I don't think I've ever ended a video here in front of the Adventure Begins bridge. Here's the gate with the lighthouse right outside. So that was my trip to Islands of Adventure. I came to go to Camp Jurassic, and that's exactly what I did. I explored. I had just a phenomenal experience there, and I had such a fun time. I sincerely hope if you are coming to Islands of Adventure that you can go check it out, because it's just so cool, so fun to explore. There were very few people there. I was gonna have some dinner tonight, which did not end up working out, but I still got to go to Camp Jurassic, and bit of a surprise, I got to just see the Velocicoaster testing, a bunch of different angles and perspectives of getting to see that test, which is getting me so hyped and excited for it. But that was it. That was my trip to Islands, closing out the park apparently, staying an hour past closing, which I don't do often, and you probably shouldn't do because they're trying to get home too, the team members. But it was such a great experience as the sun is going down. I will see you soon. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good day, and goodbye.